Hello friends. I just filmed this entire video, got to the end and realized my mic was facing in the wrong direction. So here we are filming it for a second time today. That just means it's gonna be even better, doesn't it? Welcome to this new video. My name is Jess. If you're new here, please subscribe. This video is gonna be all of my favorite things from 2022 and I'm just gonna jump right into it. All right, so the first things that I wanna talk about in this video are makeup products. This channel is largely centered around makeup and beauty, so I felt like we would start here. The first product that I wanna talk about is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Concealer. This was basically the only concealer I used for pretty much the whole first half of the year this year. I fell in love with this concealer so much that I actually ended up replacing the concealers I was previously using in my makeup kit with this product right here. It's just so beautiful and works in so many different situations. The texture of it is super lightweight, so it's great for anyone with fine lines or dryness under the eyes. It's not too matte, it's not too dewy. It's lightweight, but it gives beautiful coverage. It really is just, in my opinion, like the most well-rounded, perfect concealer. So I wanted to talk about this guy right off the top today. I'm not going to talk about a lot of makeup in today's video because I feel like a lot of the products that I use day in and day out are products that I've talked about a million times before, like my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finishing Powder, my CeraVe Hydrating Cleanser, my R & Co Shampoo and Conditioner. These are things that I mention over and over and again and have been in favorites videos over and over again. So I wanted to talk about a few different things in this video. That being said, I did want to talk about my favorite eyeshadow palette of the year. So that is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Primrose palette. First of all, the texture of the eyeshadows in this palette is so amazing. They're so buttery, so smooth. The shimmers are perfect. They catch the light so beautifully. They're really unique. I've never experienced shimmers like them before. There's a really beautiful blush in here. This color I never use, but everything else in here I really loved. I love that you can do something neutral. I love that it has the pops of color. You can do matte, you can do shimmer, just tons of versatility, and I loved the texture, the pigmentation, everything about this palette. This was definitely my favorite palette of the year. However, this was limited edition. You cannot get this anymore. So I thought I would talk about a second favorite, number 2 of the year. I don't think many of you will be surprised when I say that it is the Natasha Denona Retro palette. So this palette right here, when I first got it, when I first opened it up, the colors inside weren't that exciting to me. Just something about it, you know, didn't really draw me in. It's what I'm wearing on my eyes right now, however, and what I found when using this palette is no matter what I do, no matter how I use it, no matter what look I create, whether I'm using 10 of the shadows, 2 of the shadows, or 3 of the shadows like I used for today's look, whatever I do, I always end up loving. I feel like the colors in here are so complementary to my eye color. It's really easy to work with. It's really easy to come up with looks. I feel like purple is a really great color for anyone who's wanting to venture into color but not go too crazy. Colors in here aren't browns, they're not creams, they're not grays, but they're still really wearable so that you can dip into color without feeling like you're going too crazy or have too much going on your eyes. I've just been so happy with the looks that I've been able to create with this eyeshadow palette this year, and so that makes it my number 2 favorite and something that you can actually still pick up if you're interested. Another product from Anastasia Beverly Hills that I wanted to quickly mention is the Brow Freeze. So I didn't know if I was gonna love this. I actually did a first impression during Vlogmas, like not last Vlogmas, but the Vlogmas before that, and I wasn't sure what I thought of it, but I've been using it basically every day for the entire year. I've almost used up this entire container at this point, and it's just how I've really started to love doing my brows. If you've been around on my channel at all this year, you will have seen me use this. I love it for day-to-day brows. I used it on my wedding day. It's just a great brow styling wax that I don't feel like leaves too much of a residue on your brows, but holds them in place and gives them that really nice separated fluffy look. The last product that I wanted to talk about in the makeup category today is the Charlotte Tilbury Collagen Lip Bath in the color Walk of No Shame. So I've actually had this for a couple of years, but this year by far has been the year where I've used it the most. I just feel like it has the perfect amount of color. I had it on my lips already, but we're just gonna top them up a bit here. Like, they're not too red. They're not too purple, they're not too orange, they're really nicely balanced, so you can add a little bit of color to your face without screaming like, look at me, I'm wearing red lipstick. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful shade, and it's really nice and hydrating. I love the shine, I love how easy it is to apply, and this has been a go-to for me for basically the whole last half of the year this year, and I wanted to give it a mention because I really love it. It goes everywhere with me. I am going to talk about a few skincare products. I've been using a ton of my same skincare that I always use, but a few things that I did want to mention in today's video. The first is the Peace Out Acne Serum. So this is a product that I swear I've been using for so long, and the bottle looks so tiny, but it just keeps going and going and going. I don't know how this hasn't run out on me because I use it most days. When I first got it, I started using it as a serum like the name suggests. So I would squeeze out a pump, apply it to my whole face, use it with my other serums underneath of my moisturizer every day, and I found that it was just too harsh for my skin. I don't have sensitive skin, but I was finding that it was irritating my skin, making it feel too dry. So I stopped using it as a serum and I started using it more as an acne treatment. So anytime I feel like I have a breakout coming through, anytime I wake up in the morning with some little whiteheads or I get like a big pimple that I end up attacking and popping, I will always go in with this over top. It helps to prevent those under the skin breakouts from coming through. It gets rid of small little acne so fast. And then for those big bad boys, I feel like it really helps to just reduce the severity of them and get rid of them way quicker than they would disappear on their own without using this product. So I have loved this. I will definitely be repurchasing this. It is 2% salicylic acid with niacinamide and vitamin C. If you're looking for something to use on acne spots as a treatment, I highly recommend this. Another skincare product that I've absolutely fallen in love with this year is the Pharmacy Green Clean. So this is a product that I've repurchased over and over again. I go through it a ton. It's this beautiful green, balmy consistency. It smells incredible. It smells like limeade, which reminds me of my childhood, but it just does such a good job as your first step cleanser. So I use this to remove my makeup every single day. I will massage a little bit of it between my fingers, rub off all of the makeup on my skin, and then rinse it. And it takes away all of the makeup, all of the dirt and oil, and it doesn't leave any kind of residue on your skin. So then my skin is clean and fresh and ready to go in with my second cleanse before I move on with the rest of my skincare. I love this, and I have completely converted to it. I used to use cleansing oils and I wasn't a fan of the balms, but this has taken me over and I loved it this year. And then the final skincare product that I wanted to talk about is the Fresh Lotus Youth Preserve. I can't say it. Literally in my head I'm thinking, don't screw up the name, but I can't do it without screwing up the name. The Fresh Lotus Youth Preserve Dream Face Cream Super Lotus Night Recovery. So this is a night cream. It's so lightweight. It makes my skin feel so soft and hydrated and moisturized without feeling heavy. The scent is incredible, kind of like juicy and fresh. The packaging is stunning, this beautiful blue glass packaging. I just really have enjoyed using it this year, and it is making it into my favorites for 2022. Okay, so when it comes to hair, the only thing that I really wanted to talk about in today's video is a hair tool, and that is this guy right here. I have a whole video on this. This is the Hot Tools round blow drying brush. I'll link that video down below along with all of the products that I talk about in today's video, but I love this. I bought this because of Taylor Wynn. Previous to using this, I would use a blow dryer and try to get into the habit of giving myself a blowout using a round brush and a blow dryer. I just couldn't do it. I can't get enough tension. My hair is so long, it just wasn't happening. And so the way that I would blow dry my hair before is I would just blow it out and then I would go over with a straightener to smooth it. This is kind of a two-in-one. So I'm able to blow dry and smooth at the same time. Because of the shape and the size of the brush on here, you're able to get a ton of tension. You can kind of twist it as you go and you dry and smooth simultaneously. So it prevents me from having to use a blow dryer and a straightener on my hair. It also does give a little bit more of that blowout look, so I can get some volume. I can flick in or flick out on the ends, and I have just really loved having this year. I feel like it's been a game changer for me and my hair routine. I will say I try not to use this too often, once a week at the most, and I do try to skip weeks if I don't have anything going on where I need to have my hair done, because I do feel like it is quite damaging on my hair. It gets really hot and it's super loud. So there are cons to it as well, but really, really big game changer for me, really affordable, and something that I've loved using on my hair this year. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to talk about is so random. You guys are going to think I'm weird, but I'm going to talk about socks. So previously, I've been the type of person who just buys like the cheapest, most affordable socks that I can find on like American Eagle, or I get hand-me-down socks because my mom is super picky about her socks. So she buys socks for herself and then doesn't like them and gives them to me. So literally I either don't ever buy myself socks or I buy the cheapest ones I can get. And this year I was very unhappy with what I had for socks, and so I decided to invest some time and some money into some good socks. So I picked up these ones from Aritzia. These are the TNA socks. So I have both the little shorty sneaker style ones that have the little grippies on the bottom, and I have these crew, like longer ones. I think they're called crew, with the little TNA on the toe, but they're such good quality. I feel like they're the perfect thickness. They're not too thick, they're not too thin. They have really nice stitching in the toes here, so they're really comfortable. They're great for working out in. I just love them. I feel like they hug my feet the perfect amount, and I've been so happy with these. These have been a great kind of everyday, wear anything, work out in sock for me. And then I'm going to talk about another type of sock that I've fallen in love with. So I've had these for longer than this year, but since we're talking about socks, I'm going to talk about them right now anyways. These, I'm actually wearing them right now, are from the brand Cotton. So these were my original pair. Compared to the TNA socks, these ones are way thicker. Super cozy, really comfy. They're a bit tighter, so they kind of hug your foot and your ankle really nicely. Again, they have the nice stitching in the toe. I find these are a little bit too thick for wearing to the gym if I'm going to be doing any kind of cardio or running. I do really like them for the gym if I'm wearing my Vans and I'm just going to be doing like a leg workout or something. I do find that they're quite nice for that, but if you've tried the cotton socks, you know, like they're just elite. They're quite expensive for a sock, but for Christmas this year, Will got me a bunch of them. So I have these pink original ones. He got me ones with black stripes, ones with, I think, brown. He got me a full black pair. He got me like a green and yellow striped ones that are so 70s that I love. Oh, I'm tired of talking. But yeah, the cotton socks are also amazing, but better for like lounging around the house in, or to keep your feet warm in your big winter boots type of thing, whereas the Aritzia ones are just great for like every day in the summer working out. If you need new socks, definitely check out either of those. Something I forgot to talk about when we were talking about makeup are these guys right here. So this year I invested in some rougher brushes based on the recommendation of one of my makeup artist friends who really loves them. And I have been so happy with these, you guys. I didn't love them at first because they were different. In the past, I've always used Sigma brushes and MAC brushes, so these were a little bit different for me. The handles are shorter than I was used to, and the bristles are quite a bit longer, especially on this particular brush. This is the number 15. So I have this one in my personal brushes, and then I have a few different ones in my makeup kit as well. I'll link all of the ones that I specifically have down below, but I'm definitely interested in picking up some more because I've just been so happy with the quality. I really actually like the shorter handle, and I find that I swear they help me cut down on my application time because of how much less blending I need to do. You can blend so quickly and so easily with these. Something that would normally take like 20 strokes to blend out, you can do in like 3 strokes with this. When I first started using them, I found it was like over blending people's eyeshadows and almost like blending it away, because you really just need a couple strokes and you're good to go. You can move on to your next step. I've been super happy with these. I really recommend them, and I will hopefully be buying some more this year. All right, let's talk about some media, okay? This year I've been reading so much. I've been reading a ton, and there have been a few standout books for me of the year. The first is this right here. This is Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. I loved this book. It is a mystery slash coming of age slash romance set in the marshes, I think in the southern United States, and I just loved this story. It's such a beautiful story. You get so emotionally invested and connected to the main character in the story. You really feel the pain that she feels, and yeah, I just really enjoyed the experience of reading this book, and I highly recommend it to anybody who is into fiction. I actually watched the movie with Jackie this year and it did not compare, so check out the book. The other book that I want to talk about is actually in a series, and I've lent out my copy of the first one to Sabrina to borrow, but the Court of Thorns and Roses series really grabbed me this year. I don't think I've been that enthralled and invested in a book series in a very long time. I love books that are long and have many books in a series because you get to sit with the characters for such a long time. In a book like this, you finish it and you feel sad because you have to leave the characters behind, and you don't want to read another book because you don't want to let go. When it comes to a book series, you can just continue on living in that world for weeks and weeks and stay with those characters for such a long time, and that's just something that I really love. My favorite types of books are mystery and thriller, historical fiction, or fantasy. So the Court of Thorns and Roses books definitely fall into that fantasy category in more ways than one. And yeah, just from the first book, I was totally invested. I needed to know what was going to happen next. I loved that I was just finding out about it and I didn't have to wait for the books that were going to be coming out. I could just sink my teeth into so many books all at once and just really get engrossed in that world. They're really amazing books. If you're into the fantasy series, definitely check them out, but beware, they are definitely rated R. They are very spicy, so there's a little bit of that in there too. Whether that's a pro or a con for you, I don't know, but I'm just letting you know. And yeah, I loved those books this year. I read a ton of other books from that author as well, but the ACOTAR series really has stood out for me this year. Let's talk about a few different TV shows. The first one that I want to talk about is White Lotus. Let's get it out of the way. We've all seen it. We've all heard about it. It's amazing. Season 2, better than season 1. You need to watch it. It's incredible. It was one of those shows where Will and I were just waiting for it to be Sunday so that we could watch it at the time that it came out, at the same time as everyone else. Really just like captured me this year. In that same vein is the new Game of Thrones spinoff, House of the Dragon. That was another one that I really loved this year. Another one where we were just counting down the days for it to be Sunday night so that we could watch it, and I feel like they had a lot of pressure after they kind of screwed up final season of Game of Thrones to make this really exceptional and special, and they've done such a great job. I haven't actually read the books that the new series is based off of, so maybe that helps, but I really enjoyed that this year, and I can't wait for season 2 to come out, probably many years down the road. It takes them so freaking long to make those series. Another show that I loved this year was Yellowjackets. I hadn't heard anything about it when I watched it. We just kind of clicked on it randomly and almost turned it off at the beginning because it seems like it's going to be scary, and I'm not a scary type of movie watcher or TV watcher. Like, the horror genre is not for me, but we stuck it out and I'm so happy we did because it is so good. It's kind of mystery, suspense. You get so into the characters. The acting's incredible. I just really loved Yellowjackets and highly recommend it. Also, everyone who I've shared that with who has either watched it because I said or had seen it already themselves agrees. Like, it's just amazing. And then the last show that I want to talk about, I think all 3 of those are on Crave or HBO. The last one that I want to talk about is on Apple Plus, and I can't remember the name of it. Let me look it up. Severance. Severance on Apple TV Plus is so amazing. It's a little bit weird. It's a little bit like out there. It's a little bit suspenseful, but the ending is just like crazy, and really I am so excited for season 2. I cannot wait. If you can't tell, I really love shows that have a lot of suspense. I love high production value, a great story, great characters, and suspense. Like, I want to be on the edge of my seat. I want to be crying. I want to be screaming. I want to just be like so into it. And all of these shows that I'm talking about, I feel like really did that for me this year. I want to mention one movie as well. I'm really bad at remembering movies. We watch so many that they kind of go into my head and then back out, but the only one I could really think of this year, we watched quite recently. We saw it in theaters, and it's Tar, starring Cate Blanchett. I left the theater saying I think that's the best movie I've ever seen. If you get a chance to see this movie in the theaters, you need to go and see it in the theaters. It's starring Cate Blanchett, and she is this composer, and it's kind of her downfall. Like, you watch her character kind of go through this downfall, and the way that they do the sound design and the acting and the editing and the direction and the lighting and everything to do with this movie is so amazing. I completely fell in love. It was over 2 hours long. I barely even wanted to go because of how long the movie was. And at the end of it, I just didn't want it to end. So loved Tar. I'm sure it's going to be up for lots of nominations in the awards season this year. So if it's still in theaters near you, you need to go see it in theaters before you can't anymore. I want to talk about my Missouri hoops. I've basically been wearing my Missouri hoops nonstop this year. So I'm wearing 2 different styles in my ears right now. In my second hole, I have these little Huggies. So these are always in my ears. I've had them in my ears nonstop since I got them at my bridal shower, actually, in August. So I've worn them in the ocean, in pools. I sleep in them. Like, they're amazing. They're super lightweight, really great quality. I've been very happy with them. I love these croissant dome hoop earrings. I think that's the name of them. I just feel like they're so chic and fabulous, and when I wear them, I feel like so pretty. I can't explain, like, what is it about an earring that could make you feel pretty, but something about these just really does it for me. And then I have these little ones as well. So I think this was another gift from Will last year, these little hoops here for Christmas, and I have worn these all year. They're a little bit more casual. They are a little bit less blingy than the croissant ones that I have in right now. So just for something a little bit more casual, I've loved wearing them, but I've just found all of my Missouri hoops to be so stylish, such good quality, the perfect weight. Have some other earrings that I got at the same time as these ones that have already fallen apart on me, or they're smaller but somehow heavier. Like, these do such a good job of feeling luxurious in that they're nice quality jewelry, but not being too heavy and pulling down on my ear. So I've just been super happy with my Missouri hoops this year. And then last but not least, my Lululemon Aligns, you guys. These are my most worn article of clothing. I wear these to the gym, to the grocery store, out with friends, to visit Will's parents, to travel in, like literally in any circumstance. I wear these pants. I've had them through the years in many different colors. At the moment, I just have 2 different black pairs that I kind of cycle through. These are the best yoga pants. They feel like nothing. Like, I think the idea of them is that they're supposed to feel like a second skin, and they do. Like, it feels like you have nothing on. They are so comfortable. They're not too tight. They're not too loose. They stay up when you're running or working out. Like, they literally are just the perfect pant, and by far my most worn article of clothing. If you're thinking about it, if you're on the fence because they're so expensive, it is worth it. I've had my Lululemon Aligns for years and years and years, and it takes years and years of literally wearing them nonstop and working out in them before they start to tear between the legs for me. I have gone through a few pairs, but it takes so much time, and I wear the shit out of them. So they're amazing quality, super comfortable, very versatile, and if you're thinking about it or you want to treat yourself to something from Lululemon, these are the things to get. And you guys, that's it for my 2022 favorites. These videos always stress me out a little bit because I feel like I'm gonna forget about things, or I'm gonna gloss over things too quickly as I'm talking about them, but I've had my little list going for about a month now, so I think I've touched on everything that I wanted to talk about. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more favorites videos from me throughout the year, let me know. I kind of stopped doing them this year because I felt like people weren't that interested, but let me know in the comments down below if you want to see these throughout the year. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.